Greetings, this is Frina Riametra, and I welcome you to my react to Critical Role. No, not react, my recap. Sorry. Well, off. I'm having some technical difficulties, which is what, for some reason, and my capture of face cam is it's just freezing. It seems like it almost all my settings are still here, but it seems like it had to it's but my streaming app seems to be think it's my first time opening up, so and there's technical difficulties. But anyway, let's get into this. Is not what God's sakes. Anyway, tonight's episode is uh, episode 62 of Campaign 3, Saga of the Elves, A Long Walk of Reflection. To start off this episode was a was well oh uh for D&D Beyond a ad which basically they were creating new critical role memes, which is just screenshots of like screen captures of them doing ridiculous poses and trying to get back to a breaking point. And it should be noted that that there were only four people at the table, with only like the main only forming the three main cast who are actually have characters in this episode, plus Sam, who does the ad reads. Well, not counting Matt, of course, who there. Hang on. Memes include mansplaining or something like that. I forget what these two are called. Hot dog on head, literally what's called. Hiding the pain or something like that. Why the hell would there be? I didn't. Okay, hang on. So, okay, there's only two of them here, and okay, that's weird. Aired, many murders, and okay, there was another Matt one where he had like a melon or a squash over his head, but that one seems to be missing. Gonna have to be checking my computer later. And then finally, a the result of uh, Sam seemingly trying to get Matt to do the zucchini overhead uh, uh, meme, which was the lady yelling at cat meme. I apologize for any technical difficulties that arise during this recap. Other than that, there was new Essex figure in their store, which feet don't actually going to touch down and actually rest on the cape, so give the illusion of him levitating. Stuff there. There's the Mighty Nine Origins volume up, and then back into the episode. Oh, It's talking about how this half of the group, after being separated from the other group, the other half, after the events of the Malleus Key, ended in Isilra, uh, in the Demethor Valley. There, they encounter the town of Hearthdwell, which is currently what directly under a nexus point of the uh, ley lines during the apogee solstice, and currently at odds with the the locals seemingly at odds with the temple of Palor there, and especially the increased activity influx of Dawnfather bastions from Vasselheim for the solstice. They end up in exchange for getting use of scrying magic to at least be able to confirm if their friends are right. Agreed to help the leader of the village. Uh, what was her name? Agreed to help the elder of the village. Uh, uh, basically to use the scry magic. They made a deal where uh, so that they now had to help oust the zealots from there and do away with the temple. They do try to at least try to do a parley first, like get the leave with uh I should also note that they also met up with three new adventurers. The dwarven barbarian rogue Denise with a dollar sign, very spunky. The uh, the half elven shepherd Bor'Dor, who just discovered his new sorcery powers, and wizarding apprentice of the Cobalt Soul, the uh, uh, elf uh, Prism. I know she has anyway. They grew a they're after trying to parlay stuff. It's saying that they should be they if they really truly serve the Dawnfather, they should be going to help in the fight with against Ludinus. But with that failing, the battle at the temple began. Many summons were brought forth, including a Lauda's Lauda's Hound of Ill Omen and Earth Guardian, some sort of minor elemental, or as they call them there, an Eidolons, Eidolons. Yeah, I think that's it. And a a Balrog, a Balrog, a demon, summoned by Prism, and seemingly just summoned there, but not by anyone, but to defend the temple. A, an angel of Palor. After a brutal battle, including facing off one against the Judicators, the Holy Boogeyman of Vasselheim, they managed to defeat most of them, and meet the forces at the temple, and they'll most subdued, many though quite a few killed, and brought low the temple structure. Where after which, uh, uh, Abadina, the elder Abadina, fulfilled her promise and let her use her, not only letting her them using her scrying well, or wherever this her scrying bird bath, I think it was. Also let Prism copy the scrying spell for later use, and suggested that if they wish to reconnect friends, they go consult with the with an individual known as Hevestro, the hi, I already forget it. I'm not pronouncing that. He who's supposedly an archdruid, I think they said, who dwells in Ir- Irian Irian Canyon within the Ascended Bridge Mountains. Near the who dwells they dwell specifically near a type of blue flora. And now we get into their trip travels. They man, there's no combat this episode. This is just all roleplay. Uh, Prism is makes sure that everyone's okay with the fact that she actually summoned a demon for that fight. Uh, Ashton, no, they didn't really mind it, and Ashton actually enjoyed seeing one. Hmm. And she mentions how it's very using her powers in the field is very different than training, because as she described before, later on, they basically had counter spells ready, have said, and will counter spell the a spell they do for even the like very little deviation in posture or stance while casting. So real drill sergeants there at the Cold Soul. Uh, they do talk about Bor'Dor, her coming trying to pr- start practicing and exploring his new powers. Back this, though, and there's a lot more discussion about someone even what suggesting that perhaps his powers come from Palos in some way, which he says, which he very much doubts. So, and I did look up some information about, and I think that prison's wizarding subclass is the Order of Scribes because of what she could do with her book. And as the night goes on, perfect.
Did you?
Have I? Yeah, I've shit a couple times, so I have dug a hole.
In a hole?
Yeah. Isn't that what you meant, dig a
Yeah.
hole for?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah.
By the way, I do intentionally save these clips for more comedic moments rather than stuff of import. I feel like it avoids copyright things more if it's more just like there to show like their the cast own
Beautiful.
reactions.
Do you still?
like once a month.
Oh, bummer. That's gotta be the
Can you say
Very, it's still functional and moving, but just very slow.
very sluggish. Oh, so it's not like more.
Is it like,
it's
I'm
not
just
like
imagining
one
like you
huge one.
climbing down a tree like a sloth.
Yeah, a little
and
bit.
then back up
Yeah.
for another month.
Is it like what an owl spits out? It's like a dried little husk with like the skeleton with a bowl in it.
All the undigested.
I
Yeah,
love
they
all of
eat
this.
and then they vomit out and all the. It's just the skeletons of the rodents.
It's more like a
It's like a cat's hairball.
Yeah.
like a killer whale's ambergris.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is, and I'm not going to Google it.
Well, as the day eventually comes to
They eventually send both Pate Mother and Denoise, Denios, I think that's the pronunciation, to search for a place. Ace to stay for night. Once there, Bor'Dor looks for berries while Denise hunts for rabbits. She does catch one though. She makes an so when she does, she realize before that once she says she got this stuff, she realizes, wait, I'm supposed to make a check, and does an alien handling check, which is kind of disturbing because, as he points out, hunting would be a survival-based check. Animal handling is, as I believe how they describe it, as, oh, come here, just coaxing a rabbit to see who's not coming here, pick it up, and then going, yeah, so, kind of gross, a little bit, got a little darker than it would have normally. Anyway, they have berries and bunnies for berries and bunny for dinner, and I think Bor'Dor describes him trying to make fruit leather. I think like use the fruit skins and stuff to make some. I think don't ask me how stuff are. They're the person that sort of looks like a fruit roll or something like that. But anyway, I mean, during the night, Ashton reveals that he kind of wants to be able to start relaxing more, and asks Orm to help him learn to help teach him how to properly meditate. And one thing Orm helps do is give him a hand massage to try like a pressure point to relieve the pain there. Action has been described as having chronic pain. And then, investigating some runic symbols she has, decides to ask Bor'Dor if she could carve them into his crossbow to see and do. And they find out that it has the ability to enchant with a certain spell and stuff. And stuff like sort of with a certain spell, they decide to use a I think 4th level Dragon's Breath spell, which would do which when they tested, and everyone sort of cleared out of the way for this. The arrow was launched, but as soon as it cleared like the main crossbow, like just on the bear, it shattered, and the dust and the fragments ignited and basically turned it into a flamethrower. though there was some scorching on the crossbow afterward, and despite Logna using mending on it, appeared to be somewhat permanent, and consider it maybe due to the epic solstice, it enhances spells and stuff, and also means that it can accumulate magical damage. So they can only use like maybe a few more times. Let's see.
Cantrip?
It's a cantrip.
Oh, also, real quick, we real like Ashley continuing her things of uh, as you could, I have a picture, but as you can see, she has her fan bit now, which is being used in place of Sans jerry can. I think that's what it's called. And it with hers today being allergies suck. Oh, I don't think I showed you last time, but not that. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Oh, here. Uh, this is the one and from last time, and I have to. Based on the episode, what happened last episode, I agree. It seems very appropriate. Separate church and state. Uh, Anyway.
Firebolt.
Correct.
At the thingy.
So go ahead and roll an attack.
Oh yes. Since they're going to test out more, want to test out more, he's going to try using They assemble a makeshift dummy using various things, including like the looted robes of the Ruby Vanguard to create this train dummy.
Attack.
Poor guy.
Just watch the hair.
One of those isn't
Roll,
even a
roll,
D20.
roll D20 to see if you hit first, and then
Aren't these both D10?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
are.
but that'll be once you.
No,
find
I'm
this
gonna
chicken.
hit. I'm gonna hit.
I think you are too.
That's a big 4, baby.
plus
No, wait, 12.
Too aggressive.
12. Okay. Okay. So the good news is, it's barely moving. It's more just being handled there. So you do manage to hit it. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yes! I rolled it already. It's a 10.
A 10. Okay. And immediately, like while the hand clutches it, the construction that you've managed to pull together instantaneously disintegrates and is engulfed in flame in a beautiful display of arcane talent.
Yes. Yeah.
Impressive self-actualization.
There you go.
That was.
Look at
I saw it
that.
happen.
It's still on fire.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna
Oh, I'm gonna grab my wig first.
try and grab the cloak and start bashing it out.
Okay. You eventually put it out.
Yep.
Him. After that, they get to go to sleep with someone, and Bor'Dor decides to cast a calm. I think he first uses it to. He casts calm emotions on Ashton first. It makes him. It does actually make him feel very nice, and apparently goes off to talk to a rock. I don't remember that bit, but once he sees that, he basically uses it on the counterparty to get so they all have a quite fantastic night's sleep. Though Ashton takes watch with trying to still practice meditation. Sorry, I don't mind those bugs, even if they're technically stinkful beetles, but they can get annoying when they just seemingly evade your. Yeah, it's a certain beetle season where I live. Okay. After after a night that good night's sleep, they continue to travel. They come. They try going into this 15, 15-foot grown over crater. Here, they have they had a very good check for days travel, like a 20 and stuff, and come across it. And they find this in this crater. There is a petrified skeleton embedded into the side of the wall. Ashton uses merge stone and with it own and with it for sort of weirder use of it, and with assistance from Denise's ability to cleave stone as a dwarf, but along with Lana just chipping away with her chisel she keeps in her hair to free it up to at least the skull, though not all of it, but at least the skull, and get the hands. A prison's identify spell, which I think only supposed to work on magical items and stuff. Uh, but anyway, identify it as a Gisserai. Sort of like I for instance, there's this guy, Shinnok, otherwise known as Bob from the Vox Machina one shots, Search for Gog and Search for Bob. Basically, he's one of his kind. Okay. They discovered on the skeleton a ring, and another identifies it as a ring of volcanic flesh. Whose abilities are to while attuned to the wearer is attuned to this item, they get a +1 to their armor class. In addition, the ring has 3 charges, which are all regained after a long rest. The wearer can expend a single charge to reduce fire damage by 2d6, and can also expend a charge when hit by melee attack to deal 1d8 fire damage to the tagger who is pushed away in the opposite way in the opposite by 10 feet. Later on during the night, while they stop for another rest, Prism, or I forget if it was on a trip there or during the night, but Prism actually has a kind of heart to heart with her book. Like earlier, she told I never asked you about your story code, as the book was prepares to do his long-range telling of its own story. He said, "Actually, let's wait a little." So it's kind of feel bad and check up on him, which leads to this.
Ocelot, it smells real good.
Not quite.
Some mushies.
Denios, I'm really sorry about earlier. My confidence made me act sassy, and that was really unfair to do to you.
Honestly, it didn't hurt my feelings that bad. If anything, I'm excited to see you being slightly more sassy. Confidence is something you've entirely lacked this whole time, and to be also honest, entirely frustrating since I've been assigned to you. So be more sassy. Be more confident. Be more assertive. Tell people what you think. Take what you want. Tell them what you need, and if they won't give it to you, remove it from them and make it your own.
You're getting read by a book.
Daddy has spoken.
Ooh.
Okay, I will do that.
Good.
I will absolutely do that.
Fantastic.
Within reason, of course. I'm trying to. Yes.
Yes, certainly. The face vanishes into the book.
And with that, and after that, this definitely while they were at night rest, well, during getting another, preparing for another night's rest, Ashton, Lo, tries to get her to relax a little with a smoke. However, he uses his pipe of remembrance. Okay, and I had that out. Once per day, this damn pop-ups. Once per day, smoke exhaled from this pipe remains around the user like a little weird cloud. Quote from that episode specifically. And instead of dissipating, after 10 minutes, the smoke forms a moving image, visible to all of their user's most heroic and impressive achievement. And this it shows how like wizard, a wizard visiting, exploring the Shadowfell from there, how she of the kobold, excuse me, it the image of her great deed was her assisting a wizard of the Cobalt Soul exploring the Shadowfell, and being so invaluable to them that he ends up taking her along. And basically her escaping the Shadowfell to make something of herself. Okay. Um, they talk about more and more how she felt stuff. I I think she and Lana kind of sort of make plans to one day go to the Shadowfell together. I'm assuming when they say Shadowfell, they mean Shadowfell. Thank you. Yeah, she's always talking about Shadow Realm. I suspect a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, but because of that. Okay. Then, as the night goes on, as well, he notices soft, glowing eyes, kind of comforting, which give a feeling of comfort, though not a natural one. Watching from the darkness, and they are visited by small sprite-like spirits who like to. He wakes up. This is while he's on his watch, and and after waking up some the others, uh, uh, and Prism suggests that he actually play with them, going as far as to cast Big Beast Hand, which in her case is to lift him up in the air so he could do a little dance with them. Performing the weapons Zephiratum. Zeph. Mm? Okay. After another night's rest complete, Uh, if they talk, he Ashley mentioned that the reason he gave her he let her use the pipe was that she really seemed like she needed a brag or something about that. Like, so you got to brag out her with a drag, basically. Ashton points out how she talks about how this all seems so exciting right now and stuff like. And he mentions how he originally, while he was in school, he left to start his. He dropped out of school to pursue as I say, a life of crime. He points out, yeah, she said it must have been more exciting. Let's see. He points out how it's so much more. It was actually a lot more fun until until it wasn't. Okay. And they talk about how like she's young, like Prison's young and stuff. Like she's at an age where anything that can make her feel like she's like this one's like. She mentions how I think she once stole a ancient text stuff so that she figured she could be the one to decipher some hidden meaning and stuff. There, but they eventually a after Bor asks the Londa about the person she seemed to focus on during their scrying of the rest of Bell's Hells, Imogen, ignoring that. He goes over a little bit of her history, uh, referring to Imogen as her sister from another mister. And just like how when we were following the adventures of the previous campaign, of the other half of Bell's Hells, where Imogen is kind of worried like how this application specifically the seemingly certain the activation of certain enchantments could have work on Londa, who was given new life through magic. Just as this, uh, Lana also now fears for Imogen and what it might do with her psychic, it may affect her psychic abilities. Also, they also go over about the Ruis poems. They basically agreed to try to describe Bor'Dor's brother again. This time using the sling and he has. Also, Bor'Dor is a little bit concerned that his brother may have succumbed to fever. After all, he's been bedridden with it for 3 weeks, so it is a valid concern. And it's not a comforting sight when he does when the scrying does show them the cabin, but empty. They then after after the evening comes and they prepare for resting, and Prism tries to actually scry on Ludinus, hoping that while he's powerful, he might be arrogant enough to not dare. But apparently, he's more cautious than they had hoped, and the scry is unsuccessful. Okay, Also during the night? Huh.
Back, clean water to the camp. What are the rest of you doing?
Oh, a Bor'Dor goes to try to catch fish for them, but only catches like a fairly small fish.
Do you want me to try and put a spell in your
Fish?
no in your
Oh.
crossbow bolt?
No, I'm okay. I want to
okay.
save it for when if we ever need it. But if you can make this fish bigger,
I actually can. Yes. Can I cast enlarge on the fish? Take the
I don't
specifically.
know why this means so
Prism
much to
is
me.
Now you
Jesus.
can't do it. Well, okay, now you can do this.
The multiplication of the fish.
I'll allow it.
Only for I
Turn
think
it to wine.
it's only for a short time, so
Yeah.
cook it real quick. Cook it real quick.
So this
there's a
fish about
fire
this
going,
long
right?
becomes this long. You go ahead and you cook it up real fast. You prepare it and you kind of share it. All of you enjoying the bites, and it's like, you know, a snack filling.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does it,
And then
does
at
it
the end of the hour,
Yeah.
you're suddenly hungry again.
Anybody want a fucking rabbit?
Yes. My God.
Denise goes and gets a rabbit. Little rabbit.
Roll survival for me. Or animal handling, depending on what you want to do.
Both the same. Plus one. Oh fuck. Oh shit, that's a 24.
24. You hunt rabbit and a number of other various prey animals that will make a fine meal when cooked for the rest of the trip.
As the night goes on, Bor'Dor kind of starts. Bor'Dor expresses some concerns during the night, like how they might not be strong enough to go after a god killer, and sir. And he also goes on what have they done so far to try to stop Lupus, like what have they ever gone to like, and asks them. Basically, saying what is the goal, the ultimate purpose, what are they trying to accomplish by stopping Lupus's plans? He and the other guests don't seem to share much love for the gods, and having not fought himself, there was are they just trying to stop him for the sake of stopping him? After a while, they do determine that the best thing is to get back to friends and just stop Lupus himself. Like because they don't they'll have any chance against a god, Dathos. Though Lana points out that some change for Xandria is probably inevitable, but though there is a talk about like how much they need. They ultimately decide the reason why they're going after Liz is they just know too much. Like they already know what he's done to try to accomplish this goal. Like at that point, they don't. They're not. Well, they're not concerned about what the means are. What the ends are. They're too disgusted by his means. Ashton then once again loans out his pipe of remembrance, this time to Bor'Dor, who, when shown his most heroic memory, goes back to earlier in the episode, the scene earlier where he tests out fire, he uses fireball for a time and tested it on the dummy. and I think he tells him how he right now sort of has the first time he's had a sense of belonging. Later on in the night, Orm, while planning sort of her, then attempts to like I'm not sure if praise the right term, but talk to the Wild Mother. They said basically saying while he's had some more rougher experience with the Western God, he has heard too many stories about all the good they do to just ignore, and does ask her and ends up does asking if she can aid them in any way. Well, that break is go there. Uh, the only really thing interesting in that is that there's a new it has a new trailer for Candela Obscura, focusing more on directly on the current story. After break, Denise tries a hang on. Okay. Oh, for something I forgot to mention, is that Denise did sort of express some her her kind of shows to have some suspicions of Bor'Dor. The fact that they described an empty house like empty cabin is concerns her. Even if the guy was dead, the way they describe them being more secluded and stuff, who would go have been gone there to remove the body? Anyway, Denise tries a sleight of hand, but the objective of it is only whispered to Matt. And so, while they do know that even though like it's kind of she rolled relatively low, they do know she succeeded, but they have no idea what she was targeting with it. Eventually, they come across this great crevasse, 200 feet, 50 feet across, and 120 feet deep. Uh, the cliff almost sheer, and they try to figure out how to get down. Uh, Prism has the idea of enlarging Mother, her Raven familiar, so they can take a couple of them down. And as she does catch a large, Matt describes, and you see that uh, that Mother, normally the size of a regular Raven, is now the size of a large hawk. And the only person who even has the slightest chance of being carried down by in any way is Orem. Um, After a while, they kind of identified this place as the Iridium Canyon. So Iridium Canyon. Can, Canyon. Uh, 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 and Liam, not Liam, Orm does attempt to ride Mogo, specifically using her as a glider, sort of like Legend of Zelda style stuff. When he rolls toward to help see what it does, as he ends up getting double ones, which would be bad, except he's a halfling, so he can re-roll ones. So ends up getting a good score and succeeds in going down. The rest attempt to uh, though he does have some close calls, also nearly crashing into some uh, crashing. Though has managed to spot some of the blue flora they've researched, which is supposedly marks where near the which is supposedly near where what's his name Hevestro dwells. The others leap off the edge, and Lodna casts a spell for all of them. At one point earlier, I should probably mention this. Liam said, "Well, saying how well they're wondering how likely it is that he could get down using the glider." And hey, it's okay, we're gods. I was like, and if you're watching Critical Role for a long time and stuff, or see anime, you know what that reference is. And just just like then, when Keyleth additionally jumped this her great swan dive off. Excuse me, I think she described it as Pocahontas. The she found the and I like to point out same player for both characters that that it is near sheer, but it's not completely sheer. It does angle down. So they do take some damage while because a slant is not just a direct drop. What they reach the bottom, uh, they see a waterfall and like old video game logic kicks in, and Prism sends out Danios to search behind the waterfall. Not Danios not happy about this being a book, but discovers nothing and it's very not pleased. Denise whips a warning, gives a starts to faintly warm up, indicating something might be nearby. They start, and after a stealth check, actually, they pass through uh, a muddy hill near the water crown, near some water with interesting flowers and stuff. Person knows something seems off about the hill, and they send Patty to discover that the flowers are that discovers that the flowers are illusions, and there's a hidden cavern near the cavern entrance in a crack in the canyon wall with with markings of the primordial language inscribed into it. Uh, Denise's whip is now hot and getting warm. They use passive trace to go by, and as they pass out, they notice that the hill seems to be breathing. He thinks it's an elemental myself, though they never specify. They enter the cavern. They go unnoticingly and they enter the cavern. They find an oasis of the blue plants and many prismatic crystals emerging from cracks in the walls and breathing the entrance. There, and Ashton being able to read primordial and reads the description of the entrance. And within the verdant, where was it? Within the verdant tomb, we keep her spirit enduring. Bor'Dor does manage to loosen one of the crystals and take and Prism tries a test on the crystals, wanting to test if there's any spell reflection. And then an old joke reemerges. Of course, it's the most played spell.
I'm like holding it to the ground, like the thing's here. So it's like the spell's going like.
The idea of you smothering a spell is really.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just a little queef. Just.
Oh, the look on his face.
Matthew, it's so quiet.
Oh, wait, it is. It's you said cold. It's a shivering queef.
It is a shit.
It's a shivering
There it is. Yeah, it's a.
long story.
It's not one of my finest moments forever emblazoned on the internet. It was
Feeling.
quiver and shift was what I was trying to say.
Quiver and shift, and it came out shiver and queef.
That's okay.
It
Nevertheless,
broke us
as
for
you-
a long time.
It's still an eloquent mistake.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's always poetry. Sometimes it's a
You tried to write one poem and you said another.
I did. Poem to limerick. It's a fine line. As you concentrate and force the cantrip into the cluster of imperfect crystal, it children.
I'm fine.
Please. Oh, help.
What? I just, I'm in a movie a little sorry, but I am sorry.
It's okay.
Doing it in the name of knowledge.
You push your ray of frost into the crystal, and where it what?
Sorry.
I
I'm
just.
back.
Boys,
Here we are.
boys.
Can you roll initiative? I will teach you to mock me. The ray of frost, which has a specific.
Okay. After testing, she fires a ray of frost through the crystal, and it does actually refract the magic as well, dividing its power and shooting off of beams, which they effectively all dodge and stuff. I mean, it's a cantrip. Even if it's like tiered up because it's level 7 or stuff, it's. But they managed to avoid him. They come to the tavern. They try to see if anyone's there. Or like there's more, even if it's very natural looking. There's still more seems to be more structure. Um, at one point they suggest uh, 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 um, this will probably be up there. However, just starts yelling out, introducing himself in response. And then he actually suggests the call extreme dress, which configured Bor'Dor like, what are you talking about? Like, your dress, your seat, what street you live on, and stuff like. And I was like, you fool! He lived out in the wilderness. He doesn't have street names there. I'm not sure why. We all know like it was a joke suggestion to begin with, but yeah. After a while, the whip starts getting warming up a little bit again. Kind of the point where there are decorative metal support arches, and then they enter a chamber filled with green light. There's like a central platform with natural mineral steps, and the walls covered in malt with with many of the light refracting crystals like those crystals were. At the very apex of over is this monolithic green crystal obelisk stuff. There are runic markings all over. Imprisoned there. They figure this is not just a shrine, but some place to prepare for an event. And Ashton notices that the crystal seems to look very similar to residuum, but only it looks like natural residuum, which is weird because residuum is usually just a processed material, like made out of the white stone like stuff there. And Orange then notices a there's something called crystal scary, and there is like a shadow with some sort of shadow in within the crystal itself. Looks like a cowboy. And then he seems to notice a face. Their eyes meet, and it smiles, and that's where the episode ends off. So, with that, all that's left is to pick up. Oh, good grief! Uh, hang on. It's late, so I'm just going to do a quick one. I came up with this the other day. Higher education casting. Not satisfied with the knowledge of one arcane vocation, you expand your horizons only to be limited in what knowledge you can obtain within each chosen field. Refusing to accept these limitations, you push yourself, studying to better understand the higher mysteries of the weave. And after that, the actual function. You gain one additional list of spells, like on top of each class having a list of spells known for them. You get this. This week gives you one additional one. The number of spells known for this is equal to your proficiency bonus. Though, for quick note for any DMs who might want to try this out, but worried that it may be a little too overpowered with that knowing that many spells, you could always make it equal to half your proficiency. These spells on the list must come from one of your spell. I should probably. Oh, I forgot to mention this. The prerequisite. This feat does have a prerequisite. You must be multi-class with at least and have at least two classes that or subclasses that have the spell casting feature. I should point out that it's specifically spell cast, which is described meaning if the ability to cast spells is from a feature of pack magic, it technically doesn't work for this feat. As I recall, the only besides Warlock, the only way to get pack magic is through the Blood Hunter Arcane's Profane Soul subclass, which and that spell is just the Warlock subclass. It's just a Warlock spellist, so I just had to omit that entirely. Anyway, the spells on this additional list have to become from the spell list of those classes you have, and be of a level like a level you have spell slots for, but is higher than what the classes will actually allow you to learn. You can only replace the spell once you actually reach a level in the class it originates from that will allow you to learn such level magic. But there's a catch. It describes as is that you do replace it with them, meaning once you reach a level, you don't have the option to not to just keep it instead. You must replace it. And with that out of the way, I thank you for joining me. This is Freener Riamencha. I wish thee good fortune on the quest of life.